Hello everyone, Peta Hewitt, la-artistino. Today is the second day of the Monster Girl Challenge and I am doing the Centaur, which is number 2. Last time I did the harpy and of course used my own harpy, Myra, to illustrate it. When I was off camera I still wasn't happy with the picture, so I added a bit of a background for her so she wasn't just hanging in space. A bit happier with it now, but still I found it very difficult to get all the detail into such a small area because this is only an A4 size book. It's all done in one of these little travel sort of sketchbooks with medium sort of paper made by Holdcraft, and I like this book because it's so good with the Inktense pencils. They don't bleed through. Even as you can see here, I've used a lot of heavy Inktense and there's no sign of it on the other side. So that's what I'm using for this book, and I thought lash out and I would get the Inktense blocks out of my cupboard and use these. These are exactly the same as the Inktense pencils, only instead of being in pencil form where it's just the core of the pencil is the actual Inktense paint or colour. If you open these up, you've got big blocks of colour instead, and you can use them with water. So that's what I'm doing. I've made up a colour chart of all of them, so I will try to use those in this next challenge. Okay, Centaur Girl. This one gave me a little bit of a hassle trying to figure out. So I've been trying to draw a centaur, plan a centaur girl in a number of different poses. I really wanted to draw her sort of walking away from us so I could draw this lovely great big billowing tail, which I like to sort of put a bit of effort into. And I like this design, but it was just a little bit too tall. I wanted something a little wider. Tried a few more designs here. I had her holding a stake and just looking over the back of her rump at you. And I finally came up with this idea here, where she's out there hanging up her washing. I thought it's a bit different for a centaur girl. We'll give a go at that. I looked up a few pictures of horses so I could figure out how to draw their legs. And what I've ended up with, I finally liked that one, so I transferred the picture into here and copied it as best I could. For the sketching, I used the Cola Race pencils made by Prismacolor. They come in 24 different colours, and artists love to use them for sketching because they don't smear or smudge and you can erase them pretty well. You can't erase anything completely, but you can get 90% done. Anyway, we shall begin to colour her. Now I want to stick to doing Inktense pencils in her, so I will do the Inktense pencils and the Inktense blocks. Let's begin. I think I will start off by trying to give her a little bit of a background colouring this time and then leave the foreground till I finish the background. And I will use the blocks for that. Get the blocks out. Oh, before we start, of course, we need a protective piece of paper because I find the Inktense, when pushed on the other side, will transfer. So I'll put that there, and I've got a little test sheet, and because I'm working with watercolours, I have a little piece of paper towel to dab my colours on. I'm also using 2 bottles of little thingies of water. One's clean water and the other one's sort of dirty, discoloured water to clean out my brushes. And of course I will be using my favourite Kiritaki watercolour brushes. I've got 3 sizes here. I've got the fine point, which is yellow. I've got the medium, which is green, and the thick one, which is purple. You can also get a end like this with a flat brush, but I don't have one of those. I haven't found the need for it as yet. Okay, I'm going to use, I think, the thick brush to begin, and I'll get some colour out of the blocks. Now I'm thinking it's a sunny day since she is hanging the washing, so we'll go for, well, let's try the 0900. I think that's the sky blue colour. And what I might do, I might try mixing up a little bit first by taking some water out of the clean water and just putting a little dab in there. Now, so I'm no expert on using these are just how I've sort of figured out how to use them. And I'm just going to scrub the block there with my water brush and then drop it into the water. There. Like that. To make a little puddle. How dark's that? That's alright, I think we can use that. Okay, I'll just pop that on my paper towel to dry a little bit before I stick it back in the box, and I think that might be enough to begin painting her. Start by just filling in. Oh, that's really dark, isn't it? Might have to lighten that a little bit. Just grab my paper towel, dab it off a little bit. I haven't pre-wet the paper. Sometimes you do that if you want a nice smooth finish with watercolouring naturally. Do this technique to get an initial background and then perhaps colour over lightly with a pencil once it's dry to smooth it out a little bit. We'll see how that works. Alright, has that bled through at all? No, look at that. Not at all. And all that water we stuck on it. Geez, these books are good. I love these books. Background sort of semi-coloured in there. As it's very rough, so I'm not really worried about being too perfect. Let's pick a colour for the ground. I'm thinking a kind of muddy looking mustardy colour might go well. It'll look good with the blue. So I'll dig that out. One is this one here in my set. So I'll do pretty much the same thing again. Clear water. I'm going to have to do a colouring book like this, aren't I? Be interesting. Though mind you, I know not many people have access to Inktense blocks, but you could probably get somewhat the same effect with your pencils if you've got Inktense pencils. There we go. I got these. I had actually a voucher for an art shop as a present, and I decided to use it, and these were on special at the time, so I got lucky with these. Okay, put that down. How's that going to work? Try it on the test piece. Yeah, that seems to be okay. I'll try to get it a little bit darker. What's that now? Yeah, that feels good to me. Okay, let's try this muddy looking colour here. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop colouring, stop the video, and we'll let this dry, and then I'll come back to it to finish it off. Once the background's all dry, otherwise I'll risk bleeding the pencils into it, and the pencils actually don't work very well when you try and draw on wet paper as well. Okay, I'm back shortly. Well, she's nice and dry now. And there's a bit of a wrinkle in the paper. There was a bit of a wrinkle in the paper from the previous drawing on the other side. That doesn't bother me at all. And if I turn it over, nothing's come over into this side of the paper. Oh, I love this paper. It's only thin, but it's wonderful. Okay, let's get colouring. is my second monster challenge now complete. I think I'm happier with this one than I was with Myra. I think I'm getting more the hang of how to draw something this sort of like small and still maintain the detail with the Inktense pencils, which are a bit clumsy to outline things with. I've stuffed up a little bit on the piece of cloth here that she's about to hang. I've made that boundary way too thick and I'm not sure how to fix that, but I'll just leave it as it is for now. Everything else I'm pretty happy with. I hope you'll join me next time when I tackle the third monster challenge. Until then, enjoy any art adventures you're currently on and happy colouring! I hope you're enjoying any colouring adventures that you are currently on, and until next time, happy colouring!